Here's another one or features that I work on gSender. One is basically probably just a bug fix, and the other one is a new functionality. Unfortunately, it will only work with Gearball HAL firmware. Won't work on Sienci HAL firmware because that features is dependent on the newly implemented changes on the Gearball HAL firmware. So let's begin. So before I show you that functionality, let me demo to you the current state of the things that I fixed. So if I run this job, so it will trigger alarm 3 when I click stop. And even sometimes you can hear a very violent sound. Let me try it again. See if we can reproduce that violent sound. There you go. It's like a very violent sound. So let me unlock this. I look on the code. CNC already implemented some logic to supposed to fix that issue, but it doesn't work. There's a logic there that sent a pause command and then halt or stop. Usually what I do, I just pause it before clicking stop. But will it be nice just to click the stop and not worrying that alarm error or that violent stepper sound? So that's, I think that's what they did, but it doesn't work. Let me close this, install the one that I modified. So I'm using macOS on Apple Silicon, so I'm gonna do the ARM64. Okay, if you get this, because I'm using Mac, I need to execute xtr. Okay, that should open. Okay, now we'll see, we'll test again the behavior. So I'm gonna load the same file. Okay, connect to my machine. And then I'm gonna run it. Now, if I click stop, you will see there's an actually now the pause is working. With you can even see the indicator of RGB light. It turns to yellow. So let me try that again. I'm gonna wait for the rapid move because that's where usually the motor sounds is making a loud bang sound like this one. So now we're safe to just click the stop. You don't need to click the pause and the stop. The next picture I want to show is the repurpose door as a pause. So if we go to config, oh, by the way, before I begin, this functionality only gonna work with Gearball HAL firmware. So if you have a stock CNC HAL, it might not work because there's a dependency. If you look on the changelog on the Gearball HAL, the author created this a build last August 31. He introduced the remove the dependency of safety door, and you can use it as a parking instead. So if we receive a signal, the firmware receive a signal door open, it's executing the parking sequence, which you can configure it using 41, 42, 56 to 59, 130. These are buttons like these are spindle speed, delay, spin up, spin down, and so on. So you can actually look on that description of that. But that's the dependency. I did a demo on the other video where I actually using this, but I was able to use this by reassigning the physical button of the e-stop to send a door signal. So basically, we're just, instead of having a sensor or a switch to trigger the door, here so let's actually run this. So if I click run, and I click pause, you will see it will show on hold, yellow RGB light, spindle still spinning, plug still on, and now I'll just resume it. And then try it again. Okay, let's stop this. Okay, this is on the config, more settings, I added this new toggle switch, repurpose door as a pause. So when we turn that on and apply settings, go back to the carb and then run this again. Now if we pause, look at the behavior. It hold the job, put back the spindle up, all the way up, turn out the coolant flood, and then when we click the play, it goes reverse. It's gonna continue the job. So this is way better because when I click pause, I actually like sometimes I need to work on this area to remove some debris or maybe arranging the clamps, and I don't with the existing pause you cannot do that. And there's also a pause event on gSender. I thought I can use that, but it won't work because the G code, the custom G code, I think there's here in the tools. I think on config, they have an event. And it's a pause event. If you put a value in here, enable it, what it does is it won't execute the actual feed hold command to the firmware, and it will execute the G code. But this is unpredictable because the streaming of the gSender is currently ongoing. And if you click pause, you don't know when it will be executed. It's basically queuing up. Okay, let's go back to resume it. And then next, stop. That's it.